Instead of announcements today, I want to talk for a few minutes about stewardship. So I urge each of you to take your bulletin home so you can see all the many things that we have going on here at Nativity. As I was thinking about standing here right now, I suddenly realized that I have an opportunity, and it's an opportunity I've been looking for to say something to this congregation. I thought about writing it, but there's something about writing things like this. You really want to say this to people in their presence. I realize this is that opportunity. It doesn't have anything to do with stewardship. But here's what I want to say. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the privilege to serve as your priest. Darla and I have been here now 18 months. Seems almost like 18 days. And Dothan is now our home, which really means that all of you have made it home for Darla and for me. It is a great joy. We love this place, and we love you. So thank you. Talk a little bit about stewardship. At some point during the season when we focus on stewardship, we need to talk about a few numbers, and this is what I want to talk about here today. Last year, our pledges, we had a very good response to our focus on stewardship, and our pledges totaled $475,000. We set a specific goal this year. We didn't do it last year because we were coming off of some odd times. We didn't know how folks would respond. And we set a goal this year for $550,000 for pledges. That represents a 15% increase. This is important. It is important because of the ministry opportunities we have here at Nativity. A 15% increase will allow us to do many things to touch this community. One thing it will allow is allow us to hire a curate, to have a second priest. There are so many pastoral and ministry opportunities associated with Nativity that, quite frankly, one priest doesn't have time to attend to. Having a second priest will allow us to be more pastoral, allow us to reach out more to the community, and there is this added benefit. If there's a second priest, you don't have to listen to me every Sunday. And it also will allow us so many things we can do if we have this increase in our pledge in terms of outreach community in the community. Let me give you one example. I could go on for a long time about all the possibilities, but we're about to kick off in the next semester a ministry known as ACE, ACE, after class enrichment. And this is a time for an hour and a half. We'll bring young children into this space. We'll be over primarily in the parish hall, and we'll be working with them on life skills. Some of it may be art, some of it may be song, some of it may be sciences that are a lot of fun. But it's going to cost some money. And most importantly, this is an outreach. We are committed to having at least 40% of the children who attend ACE come on scholarship. We are partnering with the Boys and Girls Clubs so that they will bring by bus children from that organization, and think about all the benefits that will yield in this community, and we're hopeful this will grow. But it's a ministry we need to pay for, and there are so many other ways that we can touch. And so I'm asking everybody to increase their pledge by at least 15%. Remember, by the way, the biblical tithe that was referenced in our passage today is 10% of your income. I'd like to ask that Darla and I have done this, that you engage in this exercise. How much do we actually give back to God? Sit down and put the pencil to paper. You can look at your income. You can look at your discretionary income and see what percentage of that is actually returned to God. The numbers might surprise you. I also recognize that there are some who haven't pledged in the past. Please consider that. And I do recognize there are some who are in financial situations that makes this 15% maybe difficult. But I'll ask you to think about this. Can you give another $20 a week? $20. $20 a week is the equivalent of a $1,000 yearly pledge. I also am a believer in this. I'm a believer that a leader should not ask anybody to do something that they're not willing to do. Darla and I talked about this, prayed about it. Earlier this week, we made our pledge, and we increased our pledge by 20%. And one last thing, because I don't ever want to be accused of being a bait and switch kind of guy. We're up here talking about stewardship. I want y'all to know that in Advent, after our focus on stewardship is over, we're going to have a focused period of 4 weeks to raise funds for our organ. If I ask anybody at Nativity, what's the first thing you think about, they're going to think about the music. The music we hear in this place is stunning, but it can be better. And it can be better because our organ is in desperate need of renovation. The cost is about $175,000. Our dear David Deal made a generous bequest that some of what he left be applied to the organ, but we still need to raise about $75,000. And we've got the organ renovation scheduled for sometime in mid-2023. Debbie can't play some of the notes. I'm not good enough to know what's missing, but the organ is in desperate need. It hasn't been renovated for 60 years. So my sense is that everybody loves music so much in this place that lots of people want to be a part of this. I know I do. But that's separate and apart from stewardship. So keep all that in mind, please.